So listen to this. Bro, when I was in high school, I had this massive crush on this one girl. I think her name was Janine, if I remember correctly. And man, like she had blonde hair, blue eyes, quite cute, you know? And we hit it off, actually. We were holding hands. We went to the movies together. We had ice cream together. One day, I was like, I like her a lot, you know? So I'm gonna invite her to my place. So that one day, I just walked up to her like, hey, Janine, do you want to come to mine? And she's like, yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So there she was in my room, and she sat on my bed. And I played music, my favorite band, Sum 41 at that time, you know, I was young. Then I looked at her, she looked at me. You know, you could feel the spark. Guess what happened? Nothing, bro. Nothing. Can you imagine? She was in my room for 4 hours and nothing happened. I was constantly changing the music because I was so afraid of making a move because I never had kissed a girl before. And I was so anxious. And all I did was being stuck in my head. Oh, what she's going to think. Oh, hopefully she doesn't reject me. It's going to be super awkward. Instead, I was awkward for 4 hours. I ran out of CDs. There was no music left anymore I could listen to, bro. And yeah, man, guess what happened? After she left, she met another guy. At that time, I was heartbroken, you know. I was like, oh, am I going to ever find a girl again, you know? And then obviously 3 weeks later, found another girl that I found cute, same type. Her name was Stephanie. And I was like, I'm going to make a different kind of move. So I wrote a letter, handwritten, obviously. And I asked her out, like, do you want to be with me? Yes, no, cross here, you know? And I had this letter ready. And whenever her friends saw me, they started giggling. Look, G, you know? And I never gave her that letter. Because again, I was too afraid of how it would look like. A week later, David, man, if you see this video, bro, you got her, because he just walked up to her and said, hey, you want to be with me? Oh, yeah. As simple as that. And it was crazy, man. And yeah, that was my nice guy days, bro. I was raised by my grandma, and I was always taught, like, be nice, make sure everyone likes you, and don't stand out, don't take any risks, right? So that's how I was raised. And I thought this is the best way to get girls. And all I got was the friend zone, man. I was socially awkward. I was so shy, bro. Like, when people bumped into me, like, I apologized, you know? It got even so bad, bro. Like, there was this one girl, Lena, she was in my class. Like, she bumped into me and I said, hey, sorry, Lena. And she's like, shut the fuck up. Like, why you apologize, man? Like, stop apologizing. It's actually becoming annoying. And that's when I started to realize the nice guy of me, like, it actually annoyed people. And it crushed the already, like, low self-esteem I had. Anyways, like, that's when it started to click, bro. The way I was raised, the way I felt about myself wasn't really good. And I think what really, like, made things click was when I was with this girl, Laura. She was in my class as well. And she always cried her eyes out with me. And I was her friend, you know. And she always complained about all those bad boys, how they treated her in a shitty way. They cheated on her. They made fun of her, even slapped her, you know, like, physically. And I was like, how can she be with these guys and not see how good I am? You know, I'm your friend. I could do everything for you. I would do everything for you. Like, I'm such a good guy. And yet I was in a friend zone and these guys were banging her. And I was like, what am I doing wrong, bro? And then bam, a friend of mine, Chris, he sent me an article. He found something on Google, you know, back in the days, like, where internet was really slow. It took like minutes to download the picture, bro. Imagine, I'm 34. So he sent me an article and it said, women love only bad boys. And then it explained it almost like to a T, explained the story with Laura. And I was like, bro, I need to change, bro. And that's when I started to kill the inner nice guy. And unfortunately, I turned into, like, the other extreme, the bad boy, the macho, bro. I was really good with women, but I can't recommend it, bro. Like, it was not fulfilling, trust me. And it took me another 10 years to find the balance between this nice guy and this macho, the grounded masculine man that I am today. And I want to share with you how I managed to become this grounded man, bro, because trust me, like, it's the most fulfilling way of life. First, let's explore, like, what's the nice guy? In my point of view, the nice guy is a guy who's scared to disagree with girls. I remember, like, Janine, she said, like, oh, I love ice cream. I hate chocolate ice cream. And I love vanilla ice cream. I just said, yeah, I love vanilla ice cream as well. I hate chocolate ice cream. I was like, bro, I hate fucking vanilla ice cream. Who the fuck eats this shit? I love chocolate. But just because I wanted to build a connection with her and show her that we are the same, I lied. I faked myself, and that's so nice guy-ish. Nice guys, we fake who we are because we want to be validated desperately and want to be approved by others. But they don't want that. Women don't want the fakeness. Women also don't want the bad boys. The only thing they love about bad boys is their authentic confidence, bro. They don't give a shit. And that's what women are drawn to, this raw masculine energy and confidence, man. But now let's come back to the nice guy. The second thing that I believe is like a nice guy thing is to be afraid to stand out. Man, like when I started approaching girls around like 22, I was so afraid that people would judge me, man. And like, I was like always looking, okay, is someone watching? Can I approach her? Like I wasn't scared of the rejection anymore because I got rejected so much in the past. But I was so afraid, like if I approach this girl there, she's cute, but there are two people around her, they will shame me for doing this. Because Walt Disney, the Me Too movement nowadays, right? But back in the days, it was my grandma and also my mom, like who's a radical feminist, you know, when she stepped into my life. She like, everyone's preaching like to be a good boy. So I was always afraid of being judged. And it got so worse at the age of 26, man. I had a girlfriend, her name was Kathy, and she lived in Germany. I was living in London at that time, and she wanted to move in. And I didn't want to, but I didn't say no, bro. I was too afraid that her dad will judge me for being a bad boy. So I didn't say anything. I said, yes, of course, come over. Bro, it fucked me up, man. She moved in with me and I hated it. And I hated myself and I started hating her. And it took me another 2 or 3 years to break up because, again, I didn't want to be seen as the bad boy who broke up with the girl who moved countries for him. And I didn't want either. Bro, can you imagine a life I was living? And instead of facing the truth, bro, I was running away. I was cheating with so many different girls. So there's also hope, by the way, for you. Like, I'm not saying that cheating is great, but I've been with a lot of women. I've lost count, but it's somewhere in the triple digits, like not the lower end. And there's hope that you will actually get women. I attracted a lot of low quality women, unfortunately. And that was because you attract what you accept. So I attracted a lot of low quality women because I displayed low quality behavior. I didn't set the boundaries. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want to be seen as someone who does bad things. So everything that happened to me, I deserved it because it was my lesson. And I think the final straw for me was when I finally, after 3 years, I broke up with Kathy and I realized I've always lived my life on someone else's terms. I've always lived someone else's dream. I was afraid to be not liked by everyone. And that fucking hit me, man. It really, like, almost, I don't want to say killed me, but I was really like, I was in a shocking state. And what saved me, bro, was I had a business mentor and she was very spiritual. She was a tough woman, bro, but she told me one thing. If you do not let go of your past, you will never succeed in life. And that changed everything for me. And I started studying psychology. I was reading a lot about Carl Jung, Sigmund Freud. Man, I was obsessed every weekend, head down, reading about his books and their philosophies. And what truly changed my life and made me kill the inner nice guy was doing these 2 exercises that I'm going to share with you right now, bro. And trust me, man, they are life-changing. The first one is writing down your entire fucking life story from the first memory till today. Literally everything. Your first memory, your first heartbreak, your anything, any memory that creates an emotional spike, that any memory that caused pain, any trauma, any win, even something super mundane, just write it as if it would be your biography, bro. And now, once you've done that, I want you to read it and reflect, okay, which stories am I living into that are from the past that I do not identify with anymore, that I do not want in my life anymore? And then ask yourself, bro, and this is very powerful, who gives me the permission to do tasks and who takes the permission away? It's you, bro. In my case, it's myself. So if it's me who gives and takes permission, the most powerful question I asked myself, and that was my mentor who asked me a few years ago, he said, when will you give yourself the permission to live life fully, bro? Boom! Game changer. Absolute game changer. Man, if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share your story, and love and peace.